Hey guys, this is Luthais and welcome to the last installment of my points challenge. Now, this is going to be a very interesting episode because, yes, I'm basically going to lose my shit and just go for basically going to go insane. Got a bit frustrated and yes, gonna have an encounter that initiates it. So yes, I'm not gonna show you guys all the looting, just the hotspots and where I got to certain items. And yes, what basically happened is I ran into a guy, and one tip I can give you guys to try and eliminate instances like that is to double tap the caps lock as soon as you run into anyone. Because what I tried to do is I tried to communicate with him, and I thought I hit the caps lock twice, but looks like I didn't. Looking at the recording, I didn't activate the voiceover, so he of course wasn't sure of my intentions. So yes, a large tip that I can give you guys when encountering other players is to basically just make sure you double tap the caps lock before you get into that encounter, so that you can talk a bit to him and just let him know what your what your intentions are, and maybe have a chance to make a friend and run around as a group. So yes, just looting the caves in the Sultan area. And again, just showing you guys all the spawn points. And that's all I'll be basically focusing on until I meet my end. And yes, this will be the last episode in the series. I'm not dead yet, but I'll make another episode where it's basically just going to be PvP. I'm going to be spawning in Hayward Valley, and yes, trying to get into action as quickly as possible. And yeah, looking to meet my end as quickly as possible as well. Just have some fun, and give you guys some good PvP action. Again, just crafting the basics here. I already got a backpack, so always remember that fanny pack. And yes, definitely did this playthrough a bit quicker. One thing I can say is that standing still in Miscreated or not moving constantly will increase your chance of dying a lot, especially on a third-person server, but on a first-person server as well, because because you're in first person, you can't always see right around you, and yes, you never know who might spot you, and it only takes one instance for you to be shot in the head and meet a sudden end. So what I'm basically just doing here is focusing on the objectives. And this is a very big tip, guys. A lot of you, someone told me they're scared to go down there because of the fall damage. But one important tip is when you go down a hill, always go down sideways and strafe into the hill so that you slide down. Okay, if you just fall directly down, you can get damaged. But as you saw in that example, I was hugging the wall as much as possible. So as soon as you start falling, just hug the wall, and most of the time you will just slide down. So here I got into my first encounter, and I immediately thought it was a clan, and that's why I aimed high, because I know someone might be sitting up top. But unfortunately it was just one person. he clearly got nervous. Again, he doesn't know how many people are shooting at him. But I would have really loved to get a lucky headshot in there because he had my favorite vehicle. And I would have absolutely loved to get that bug. It would have made my pathfinding and my objectives much easier. So here I'm at Rocky Ripple. Rocky Ripple is an objective as well, and I found the dirt bike, which again would make the time I spent reaching the objectives much easier. And of course the bike is very easy to hide, so you can always go and put it down quite a distance away from the point that you want to reach, like the checkpoints. And yes, got everything for it except the battery. If I found the battery, I could have gotten away. But at the moment, I'm just trying to build up the bike. And in this situation, I wanted to tell him about the bike. And yes, I didn't want to kill him. I knew he was here. But yes, you can see the voiceover isn't on. And I thought I was talking to him, but clearly I wasn't. And yes, guys, never underestimate the power of a melee weapon, especially if you get a headshot in. I think he got a headshot in with the first shot. Yes, and after all that looting, the challenge is basically over, guys. So yes, I'm not sure about the points, but my highest point was 2,250, which puts me on a professional level. But yes, this is the end of this point series, and I will definitely work on 3 new challenges, and it will be focusing on beginners, intermediate players, as well as PvP players. So again, just looting the hotspots, trying to get guns as quickly as possible. And yes, all I wanted to do is basically just loot the cave and the radiation zone, and then I came to the north bunker as quickly as possible, because I just thought to myself, this is it, you know, no more clowning around, no more hiding. I'm just going to go for it. And I've taken my shoes off, so I'm trying to do a die-hard playthrough here. And I must say, knowing as you can see, there's about 33 players online, and knowing the path in the bunker is extremely important, guys. As you guys know, I've made a video about the route that you must take, and it really helped me a lot, because somebody was probably in here before me, because there were no mutants. But the time it took me to get to the bunker, or to get to the armory, was really quickly, and I could get in and get out of there really quickly, making the chances of an encounter much lower. So what my mission was here is to get into the armory, loot the armory, and then log out to have some lunch, or sorry, to have some dinner. And yes, after my dinner, I'm going to log back in and just completely search for some action. As you see here, just showing you guys all the weapons I found. Found the UMP, which I've never used, so I'm quite excited about that. And here I've relogged, and I'm just making sure no one's inside. And yes, just doing a quick scan again, see if I find any ammo. Don't want to really loot for any other guns, like I'm not going to pick up the M40. Just going to get out of here as quickly as possible. And yes, this is basically where I made the decision. We're just gonna go bananas and take on every single situation that we get into. I must say, that is probably the worst part about that bunker. If anyone knows of any other strategy to get out of here, please let me know, because that, in my opinion, is a death trap. Coming up that ladder with anyone waiting for you. So be very vigilant of that. So I'm now at the paint shop. And yes, I'm on my way to Hayward. And I'm about to kill everything that moves. Of course, not worrying about not being heard. I want to get into action, so I'm going to make as much noise as I can and kill everything in sight. Just some potato shooter here. Trying to lead the shots, but yeah, not really getting it right. But yes, I was very happy with my ping here. On a UK server, the lowest ping I can get is about 200. So I was very excited about getting into action. I know 200 is really, is still bad, but for me, 200 ping is perfect because it doesn't have a major influence. As soon as I get to 300 and above, I've got a bit of teleporting, but this was really fun. A lot of bounce around there, so I'm thinking a vertical grip will help the UMP a lot. I'm not sure if you can attach the vertical grip, but I'll try and test it in later. And as you guys can see, not worrying about noise, trying to let everyone know I'm here. And just really looking to get into the action. Of course, running out of ammunition, so I'm not worried about which gun I use. As long as I can get ammo for it, I'm fine. And yes, here's a big example of never standing still. Feel sorry for the guy, but I didn't know if he was part of a clan, so I just reacted as quickly as possible. And yes, still had to be careful to see if there's other players there, but I couldn't wait for him to get back into the vehicle. And yeah, snagging myself a nice pickup truck. And that's a perfect indication of never standing still in the open, because you never know when a player might spot you. And as you can see, one headshot and it's the end of you. And I really thought I was going to have some fun here, guys. I'm going to start blowing the horn, letting everyone know I'm coming. Yes, and I was really looking to get into action here. Unfortunately, the population went down to 21. But I still felt like getting into action in Hayward would still be quite good. really looking for someone. I really wanted to get into a confrontation here, but like I say, my luck isn't always the best. And I just thought to myself, okay, no one's responding, so nobody wants the pickup truck, and I just wanted some action, so didn't really care about the truck anymore. And right there, I'm giving you guys an example of how quickly you can blow up a vehicle. And remember, guys, always try and shoot from the front. That is, in my experience, that's the fastest I've ever blown up a vehicle, is shooting it right from the front. Heading to the police station. So trying to cover all the hot spots, but still not finding anyone. And yes, really loving the sound of the bulldog. Bit sad that it can't take attachments, but it's still a really cool gun. As you guys can see, I'm not... now, my gameplay wasn't this laggy, it's basically just the recording. But together with the ping and my latency, it really bothers the recording a bit. But yes, unfortunately I didn't find any action, used most of my ammunition. Really tried to get you guys some action on a first-person server. It's easy to get it on UK3 or UK4. But if you guys would like more videos like this, please click that like button. And yes, tell me in the comments below if you'd like more PvP or more guides. And I'll be sure to get back to you. And yes, I've still got about 2 more videos planned. And then I'm just basically going to focus on standard gameplay and trying to show you guys some action constantly. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. And like always, just have fun.